Quit playing games with my heart.
Today we're going to be looking at more stupid games that churches play. I had a couple of videos that talk about the stupid games that churches play when they go off the rails and they do things that are just absolutely bananas. But I am increasingly shocked what churches do in their church services, particularly woke churches and mainstream, what we would call evangelical and mega churches, just to get a crowd or to please certain people in their congregation. When you think about a church service, the average person is going to think about, okay, I'm at church, I'm going to hear a sermon, I'm going to worship the Lord in song, we're going to pray, we might even celebrate the Lord's table. And of course, churches do announcements, they might do a special music that's usually focused upon Jesus Christ and the Word of God. But I see many churches playing secular songs in their services to make Christianity more palatable. They might cause people to think that, hey, they're normal, just like the secular world. But here we have a United Methodist Church that brought in a Beatles band, a look-alike band, or whatever, somewhat look-alike band, to do a church service. And they did many songs in this church services. They called them worship songs and sung Beatles songs for worship and offertory. Let's give this a listen.
And now I invite you to stand as you are able for our first song.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. I wanna hold your hand, I wanna hold your hand, I wanna hold your hand. Hold me, love me, I ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a week.
This phrase, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be.
First off, a church should not be elevating in its service a group that was clearly anti-Christian. You know that John Lennon hated religion, hated Christianity. He said he thought he was more popular than Jesus himself. But there's so much good Christian music out there now with good melodies. All the hymns had all those as well. And you need to elevate a group that denied Jesus Christ and was anti-Christian. The next one is also very strange. This is a church by the Glades. It's an attractional, seeker-sensitive mega church in Florida. They had a Backstreet Boys cover band sing "Quit Playing Games with My Heart" in the church service. Let's give this a listen.
Quit playing games with my heart. Playing games with my heart. Before you tear aside my heart. Quit playing games with my heart. I should have known from the start. You gotta stop hard. Tearing us apart. My heart. Quit playing games, baby, baby. The love that we had was so strong.
Why on earth a church would want to mimic a sexualized band, specifically targeting women, in their service is beyond me. It's beyond insanity for me. It's remarkable that a church would do this. But I wanted to close with thinking about what should the focus of the church be. And of course, it should be on Jesus Christ. The scriptures point us to Christ. The singing about Christ. Of course, we're praying to Christ. And if we're celebrating the Lord's table, we're remembering Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ is to be the focal point of the service. Hebrews 12 verse 2 says, "Fix your eyes upon Jesus, the author and perfecter of your faith." And when you come to church, you need to be in a place where they're causing you to fix your eyes upon Jesus. Jesus said, "I'm the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me," in John 14 verse 6. Here we see that Jesus is the way to the Father. He's the focal point. He's the center of the Christian faith. And Paul spoke about a foundation that was laid in the Corinthian church. In 1 Corinthians 3:11, and that foundation was Jesus Christ, His good news, Him crucified, Him raised from the dead, as you read in 1 Corinthians 15, verses 3 to 4. But I wanted to close with what an individual named Chad Bird had to say about church service. This is incredible. And I'll close with this. Thanks for watching, and God bless.
My wife and I will be leaving for church in a few minutes, and let me tell you what I'll be looking for. And I hope it's what you're looking for in church as well. I want the hymns and the songs, I want the readings, and I certainly want the sermon to focus me primarily in one direction. And that direction is not to me, it's to Christ. I don't want the hymns and I don't want the songs to be just kind of full of emotion, nothing more than kind of stirring up my spiritual feelings. I want those hymns and songs to preach the Word of God to me, so that as I sing these and people around me sing these songs and hymns, we're actually proclaiming the Word of God. Specifically, proclaiming the Word of God about Christ, who He is and what He's done for us. I want the sermon not to be a spiritual pep talk. I don't want a list of these spiritual rules that I can follow in order to lead a spiritually successful life. I don't want the focus to be on me. I want the focus to be upon Jesus Christ. I want that Word of God, which is preached from the pulpit, to convict me of my sin and to lead me to Christ, who is my only hope for forgiveness, life, and salvation. So I want the service from beginning to end to have one major focus, not just this Sunday, but every Sunday. Jesus Christ. That's what I am going to church to hear, and I hope that's what you're going to church to hear. And you got to ask yourself, if that's not what you're hearing in church, what are you even doing there?